The problem with coming from a narcissistic family is it teaches you to accept less than you should, because if your parents abused you, which I was heavily abused growing up, and I'm not going to get into that in this video, I'm not going to get into the specifics, but you might accept less from a romantic partner, for example, because again, your nervous system's been trained to get used to abuse. You might tolerate more than you should from a professional job, for example. Like maybe they underpay you, maybe they overwork your body or mind, or maybe they cross your boundaries. You might even accept less in friendships than you should, or even in something as simple as nutrition. Maybe you're not treating your body right because your family never taught you how to take care of your basic needs, and maybe they abused you. Maybe you were the scapegoat, you know? And so what I've learned over time, again, coming from a narcissistic family that heavily abused me growing up, is you have to unlearn these patterns, and you have to develop a high self-worth and understand that you are worthy of love, you are worthy of care, you are worthy of a better life, even if the people around you tried to make you feel like shit, and maybe they constantly criticized you because they didn't feel enough, and they projected that onto you because their ego wanted to make them seem like it was perfect. When you're the scapegoat of a narcissistic family, what happens is all the family's dysfunction gets projected onto you because they don't want to face it themselves, and so they need an external punching bag, basically. So you might get accused of things that you weren't. Like, my family would threaten to send me to rehab sometimes, and they'd call me a drug addict, even though I didn't do drugs growing up, just because I went to a few parties with my friends. So, normal teenage experiences, they can make you out to be a villain for having them, again, because of their own dysfunction within that they haven't sorted out. And my mom and dad would go to parties all the time themselves. So the fact that they were like, oh, you know what people do at parties? They do drugs. You went to a cross-country team party with your friend. Even when I went to a team party that was because of a school sport, my family still thought I was doing drugs. And it literally, the team coach approved of this party, and they were part of what actually set up this party. And my family still thought I was there to do drugs, even though it was a school sport related party. And even if your teenager wants to go out and drink or smoke pot once, again, that's normal. Everyone does that. So to be abused for that or made out to be some drug addict that needs to get sent to rehab, it's just insane. And that's just one example of the many layers of abuse I went through. That, again, I'm not going to get into all of it in this video. But again, if you were raised in a narcissistic family, you may have normalized, again, poor romantic relationships. You may have normalized shitty jobs. You may have normalized just not being treated right or not doing right by yourself. And you have to unlearn those neural patterns, because it can be deeply embedded in your nervous system to just normalize pain, and it's not normal. You should enjoy your life. You shouldn't feel rushed. You shouldn't feel pressured to, rush through your life. You should have been able to have a normal childhood, and unfortunately that was taken away from a lot of us. And so then it carries into adulthood. We think we're still not allowed to have fun in adulthood. We think we're still not allowed to slow down in adulthood. We think we're still not allowed to have self-love in adulthood because those things weren't granted to us in childhood. But we are worth those things, and we do deserve those things. And I'm not going to make this video too long because I wanted to make this video short. So I'm going to end it here, even though there's a lot more I could say about this topic. But if you want to hear more about, what it's like to survive narcissistic abuse, I've been through it. You're not alone. And I've been through it not only with family members, but romantic partners as well. Jobs that I've worked, all sorts of avenues in life. Police, getting falsely accused of crimes I haven't committed and needing to go to court, all sorts of avenues in life. So you're not alone if you've went through it. And this channel, we talk about all sorts of topics, not just mental health, not just narcissism and family dynamics, but we talk about physical health, spiritual health. We talk about politics. We talk about all sorts of things. So if you love just all sorts of things that are important, to being a human and living life, give this channel a follow. We're trying to crack the code over here to the best of my ability. And, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe for more. And until next one, I'm out. Love and peace.